Day 2 of our coverage of the 2022 Paralympic Winter Games continues from the building they call the Ice Cube, the National Aquatic Center in Beijing that's turned into a curling arena. And our featured matchup on day 2 is the 2-0 Canadians taking on Latvia, who is 1-0. Alongside 3-time Paralympic gold medalist in wheelchair curling Sonia Gaudet, my name is Matt Cullen. And Sonia, the lights are down again for our pre-game ceremony. And the Canadians have to be feeling good about a fine first day, beating China, the defending Paralympic gold medalist, and taking care of Switzerland as well.
Oh, absolutely. They must be just so proud of themselves, and so they should be. I'm super excited to watch this game against Latvia. Heard so much about this team and finally get to watch them in action.
Latvia, a young team with little Paralympic experience, but they did beat a very good South Korean team in its opener by a score of 8-4. Another shocker and what's been a few big upsets so far at the Paralympic Winter Games in Beijing. Let's head down to the ice.
Switzerland versus Republic of Korea.
Mark Idison, the 45-year-old skip from London, Ontario. The big heart from Dennis Thiessen from Crystal City, Manitoba. Ina Forrest from the British Columbia interior. Spalumcheen just north of Vernon, BC. And there's John Thurston, the 38-year-old Paralympic rookie, throwing final stones for Canada. 2 great games for John Thurston, a big reason why the Canadians won.
John's just been on fire. It's been really great to watch him shoot. He's so accurate and so particular.
The Latvian team, Ojārs Briedis, Agris Lasmans, Sergejs Diatzenko, the 27-year-old, and the skip is Paulina Roshkova, just 36 years old, from Riga, Latvia. Both Paulina and Ojārs were the Paralympic flag bearers at the opening ceremony. Latvia has never competed at a Paralympics when it comes to wheelchair curling, and they picked up their first ever win against South Korea in draw number 2. There's a look at the table. 3 teams undefeated: Canada, Norway, Sweden, and a couple of shockers as well, with the United States and China both 0-2.
A couple of big shockers for sure. And must have been a great game for Latvia. Would have loved to have watched that game against South Korea.
The Latvians outcurled South Korea by a count of 64% to 56. Stole 2 ends as well, so the Canadians could be in for a bit of a fight. Canada does have hammer in the first end after winning the last stone draw rather comfortably. So the first ever meeting at the Paralympics in wheelchair curling between these two.
Every team comes to the Paralympics to play.
And there is the pebbled ice at the Ice Cube. And ice conditions have become a bit of a story as the temperatures are rising. And keeping the ice good for the curlers has been a bit of a challenge, we're told. They had to re-flood the ice just a few days before practice because there were some logos that needed to be redone. And there is also a considerable lack of humidity in the air. And the ice makers are fighting to make it not too humid. So here we go. It's Canada and it's Latvia. The first ever meeting at the Paralympics in wheelchair curling between these two countries. Oljars Briadis, the 47-year-old lead and flag bearer for Latvia at the opening ceremony with the first stone.
Mine is 14, got top 12, so like 13 and a half.
Yeah, I like it pretty quick down here.
Starting off with a bit of an offensive approach. The high guard.
Mark Thiessen in his third Paralympic Winter Games, skipping the team for the second games in a row, throwing lead stones. Two good games for Thiessen. Curled 73% in both games versus China and Switzerland.
Yeah, Mark's had a couple of good games already under his belt. That one's got to move.
And that one not quite over the hog line, so it will be removed from play. So what we know about the ice is that there is a lack of humidity. Normally things are too humid, conditions are too humid, so what's happening right now is moisture is being removed from the ice because it is so dry.
Yeah, it causes the ice to get a little bit heavy. So something to be very mindful of when you're throwing, which looks like Mark's got that figured out.
Uzliekam vēl vienu, negrib?
Nē. Šeit jātrapa, ja? 9-5.
If you notice, the Latvian team has a different head on their stick, different than the extender and the GTX.
That's Agris Lasmans, the 42-year-old second. This team has curled together at the last 3 wheelchair curling world championships. Never finished better than 7th.
You like the peel?
Hey,
We
yellow
shot?
shot. Hey, yellow shot.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, just get rid of it. Just off nose high. What weight? 8.5.
Here is Dennis Thiessen from Crystal City, Manitoba, the southern part of the province.
Nice throw, Dennis. Good boy.
In his third Paralympic Winter Games, gold in 2014, bronze in 2018.
Starts the end off with a great shot, getting rid of that yellow stone.
Jā. Sārgu pielaidējis musēja aizbraukt.
Looks like that head is a version of the GTX head. Puts nice rotation on the stone. And there's a
Labi.
Labi.
Same weight.
This is the only game for the Canadians in day number 2. The schedule gets considerably more challenging after today. That includes a couple of games tomorrow against the United States and Sweden.
Another great shot by Dennis, looking for a hit and roll here.
Nice toss.
Oh, didn't quite get over.
Либо тот уберем. А тот не хотим убрать?
Мы в дом хотим.
А тот не надо убирать? Ну ладно. О, сколько? 3,6?
Pielaida ļoti tuvais sargs.
Sergei Diatsenko, the third for Latvia. Just 27 years old and also part of this team that's, again, curled at the last 3 World Championships.
Whoa.
Only 27. I wonder if he's one of the youngest curlers out here.
Давай, давай, еще. А лучше, чем тот был.
Former gymnast, competed at the European level.
Там самый угол.
And an interesting end saw now with the stones up front.
Yeah, it always makes it interesting when the first end starts out like this.
Dennis is curled a bit here.
Okay.
Ina throwing a peel.
In her 4th Paralympic Winter Games. A 2-time gold medalist and also the bronze from 2018. One of the country's most decorated wheelchair curlers.
And one of our opening ceremonies flag bearers.
Right.
An honor that Ina takes very, very seriously.
В дом?
3-0, да. Этот был 3-3, 3-0. Pielaida
Ши-
tuvais sargs.
А, все, понял.
Diatsenko curled 73% in Latvia's opening win, including 89% on draw weight shots.
Wow. Well, we saw his first draw was very good, and just put a little bit too much on that one. Has a very, very solid delivery style, though. Looks very strong in his chair.
Same weight, Ina.
Team Canada wanting to get rid of those high guards. When you have the hammer, they are not your friends up there.
Hold, baby, hold. Nice shot on.
Well, that gets
Well,
some granite
that worked
moving.
out well.
The big smile from Dennis Thiessen. Changing up the angles. And
Dennis and Ina are really great friends on and off the ice, and that says a lot for team dynamics when you're out there with people that you just like to be around.
And here is the 36-year-old skip for Latvia,
Piebrauc pie paša akmens.
Paulina Roshkova. One of the
Es domāju, slotu blakus akmenim noliec.
flag bearers at the opening ceremony as well,
Yeah.
with her teammate Oyars. Competed at the 2016 Beijing Paralympic Games in Rio de Janeiro in wheelchair fencing. So another multi-sport athlete is becoming a theme.
Yeah, wow, what a great delivery style she has. I've heard a lot about Paulina, but have not seen her curl.
She began wheelchair curling in 2011 and then switched her focus to fencing in 2012, returned to curling in 2017, and has been with the team for the past 3 World Championships.
Hey.
Or we come around, but I like that.
Hey.
I can certainly see how the sport of fencing could cross into being a great
where I
wheelchair
had it,
curler.
For mine?
Like 13 and a quarter?
Yeah.
Said that after her first few fencing lessons and classes, she caught fire and said, I've got to give this a shot.
That would be a fun sport.
John Thurston from Dunsford, Ontario.
Good to good.
Team Canada's marksman.
Throwing the last rocks.
Good work.
In 2 good games against China and Switzerland.
Great draw weight.
Vai līnija bija iepriekšējā reize?
I think that top stone on the left is just biting the 12 foot.
Yes, I was just about to ask what you thought. Could come into play. Roshkova with her final stone, and she is on her own yellow. So advantage Canada with the red rocks in the first end, and a chance for a multiple score.
Keep me down to it.
And if that is a biter on the top 12, it could be 3.
Could be.
Yeah. Same weight.
There is a little bit of white, but sometimes the camera angles can be deceiving.
John gets to throw the same weight that he just threw, which is always a great position to be in when you're throwing your last stone. Same as the first one.
Needs a little extra on this, comes up short. So 1 for sure.
And I'm sure Mark's going to call for a measure on that top left rock.
What was that one? Okay.
Again, we can see that just that sliver of
Ah,
white,
that was
but
there.
sometimes at a different camera angle, and if you stand right over top of it,
Yeah.
it tells a different story.
No, I like the path. I like the path.
Yeah, you never want to assume that it's not a counter, even if you think it's not. It's better to check.
Looks pretty.
Not that one. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Oh dear. Oh dear. I think that that biting stone was just moved by one of the officials. And now we have a controversy on our hands.
I thought it was in by.
How frustrating.
Oh dear.
Rihard. Volunteers akmeni noņēma, nepaspēja izmērīt. Ko daram? Volunteers akmeni noņēma, nepaspēja uzmērīt. Ko daram? 1. quoi?
Ну,
Только
ми
перетрasi.
Сейзеном.
Не, ну если прям быть...
So now it's a debate. Was it in or out? The Latvians and the Canadians clearly have different opinions on this.
I was just grabbing my gear.
Clearly they do, but I don't even know what happens in a situation like this, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's the officials that
I think Mark made it very clear he wanted a measure. I mean, she was on her way.
Is there, we can't look at a replay? So the choice is we take one or we replay the end. Can we defer, can we talk to our coach or in this instance?
Linda, can the team talk to the coach about this? No, you have to decide.
Well, what do you guys like? It was the two, so
But no guarantee you're going to get a 2 the second time
second
round.
hand.
So,
But we had a shot for 3, so we could get 3
Yeah.
again. I think we played again.
play it again.
What do you think? Well, wait. We're gonna get. Everyone's got to weigh in here. Yeah, John.
Sure. So we're playing the first end again?
We could throw them all back.
Sure.
Окей.
Okay.
All right, well, a decision has been made. Clear communications. Appears that they are going to redo the first end. As we heard from the official, either take the one or replay the end.
I think that's a great decision, and you can see how cohesive our Team Canada is, and Mark wanted to make sure everyone was on the same page, and I agree. I think they made the right decision.
So some adversity as one of the off-ice officials removed the stone before the measurement took place. So they will bring all of the stones back.
Yeah.
And we heard some of the decision making from Mark Idison and the Canadian team. We had a shot for 3.
Absolutely, we
I
did.
thought it was there in my hand, but I'll just watch it. Maybe it's a couple feet slower. I liked it though. I thought they traveled.
Kas?
I just thought.
Da,
We don't have these volunteers.
Es sapratu, jā. Sergejam ķipa nevajadzēja iet iekšā, ja? Labi.
It's good experience. Yeah, now we know.
Taking the positives.
Absolutely, and
Play some game after this? So that's too bad.
Yeah.
This is gonna...
I don't understand that though. Like it's not our offense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, it's an opportunity.
so there was some conversation there between
Sure.
John and the coach, and questioning John's last stone, whether he felt he threw that the same as the first one, how he felt about that, just in case, you know, that last stone is something to pay attention to.
And yellow stone. Yellow stone. Okay. Well, it's smell it.
Be interesting to see if Latvia starts this out the same way they did, or if they're going to put their first stone in this time.
So after some controversy, we will replay the first end after one of the stones that was set to be measured was removed accidentally by an off-ice official. Canada had the choice to either take the one or replay the end. So here we are back at square one. Canada only has the one game today. Latvia has two. They play directly after this game against Slovakia, so that's a disadvantage for the Latvians as well.
It is. Gives them one extra end of curling. Throwing rocks, a few more
13,
rocks.
I think. 13 and a quarter.
But started off offensively by Latvia anyways.
Takes a while to come off side there, right? Just slow that pack. It's just slow enough.
Kas?
Netaisam cieto šķirbiņu.
Braucam iekšā, pielaida tuvais sargs. Tur mēs nebrauksim.
Ну так, 3-2 каких надо?
So Oljars Briadis. This is second stone. I don't know if I have seen this a replayed end before.
I actually don't believe that I have either.
Could be an uncharted territory here.
Yeah, I was not sure how they were going to decide what to do. Interesting.
I think here, I think 13. I think
13, I think.
Yeah.
Because his slowed up.
Yeah.
The one that came to top 12. Like
Yeah.
Once it got to the house, it slowed up
Yeah.
pretty good.
Well, an extra end to feel out the sheet. This is on sheet C. Canada curled on day one on sheet B and on sheet D. And the latter was quite challenging
It
for
was.
both teams, the Swiss and the Canadians.
Nice weight, Mark.
Yeah.
There we go. The weight figured out over on that side.
Mēs viņu kaut cik redzam?
Nice shot.
Kas?
Slow house.
Jā. Spēks 11.
So for those of you watching in Canada, might as well start brewing the second pot of coffee already. Could be a late night here.
Definitely.
Restarting from scratch.
Ja paies sargam, būs ļoti labs.
О, о. Давай, 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 давай. Yep.
Just past
Красавчик.
the guard.
That is a very good shot. Nice weight control. Great rotation on the
Like the
stone.
double peel, maybe this one kicks ours on. Hit this one first.
Back to Dennis's favorite shots.
What's my out turn?
Out.
In turn.
In.
8.
Mark asking for an 8-second throw, so that's good solid hit weight. An easy speed for Dennis to throw.
Like, really quite full.
Oh, I think you're gonna like this, Dennis.
Okay.
Got a little full on the broom there.
To nedaudz paspiežam uz iekšu. Jā, faktiski māja.
It's still a half decent result.
Spēks 3,0, 3,5. Ja sanāks vienkārši aizbraucam aiz sarga.
Latvian skip, Paulina Roshkova. Spent some time in Ukraine after a snowboarding accident caused a spinal cord injury. Went to Ukraine for her rehabilitation, and then it was at that time where she caught fire with the fencing crew.
Yeah. Very cool.
I think we just skinny this one.
She looks like a very strong athlete.
It was really full, so just right at it. It's not doing anything here. 8.5.
Second stone from Dennis Thiessen.
Nice throw, Dennis.
Oh, nice try.
Almost had the two.
Almost. But got shot rock, and that worked out well for Dennis.
3-5 будет хорошо. Белая до 40.
Sergei Stiatsenko.
Has really nice draw weight control.
Ой, sorry.
You move it off a bit?
Off the line.
I think we'll, gonna give you a little more ice, like 8.5. Get this one high, it's all right.
Okay.
Like hit and roll in.
So into third stones. Do you see an opportunity, Sonia, for Canada to have that shot for three again, or still too early to tell?
I'll weigh in on that after this shot.
Okay.
Really like the throw line.
Nice toss, Ein.
Yeah.
Ooh, nice shot, Aina.
That is the double. So Brad Thiessen was chasing that double for a few stones, and Ina Forrest with a terrific shot, taking both Latvian stones in the house out of the picture.
Spēks ļoti labs, malacis.
3-9, 3-3. Да блин, у меня второй раз какой-то промах.
So what do you think of the weight?
See another way in?
Do you ever like tapping the far?
Yeah. Or the come around.
What's the weight?
There might be something under that rock, that's all for the top.
Right.
You can try it though, like back 8.
Yeah.
12 and a half?
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, 1275, 12 and a half.
12.75.
Excuse me, there's something just under the edge of that rock?
Oh, it's been an interesting adventure for the off-ice officials here in draw number 4.
Team Canada noticing some debris and fluff on the ice.
12 and a half, 12 and a quarter, I think,
Okay.
So lots of really good communication between Mark and the front end, and all 3 of them down at this end conferring on 12 and a half for Ina's weight. So
Discussed a few options as well.
yeah, for sure.
Promoting the Canadian Redstone into the back 12. Canada line 2.
So I'm going to answer your question. I think we have an opportunity for 3.
Oh, which was a good thing.
Good though, like 12 is probably.
The other option was to draw into the house there.
It's nice to have options. Paulina with a solid hit, needs some weight here to get through there.
Almost.
Almost.
That double takeout.
Really nice shot
What do
from
you see it?
Paulina.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you think? What are you thinking for weight? 13 and a quarter?
Yeah, I like it.
13.
13. It's going to take a while to get off that guard.
Yeah, should finish up though, eh?
Yeah.
Interesting, John and Paulina both are in marksmanship sport, archery and fencing.
Well, that required some marksmanship right there.
It sure did, and worked out for him. Little bit deep, but got through that port.
Sorry guys. Yeah, 13.
Neredz, jā, brauks iekšā.
Only 1 stone
Pitā.
left for each country.
Yeah.
Canadians threatening again.
You can see she's resetting her stone there. Sometimes it just gets a little bit ahead. You don't want it. Moves when you don't want it to, so time to reset.
So last stone for Latvia.
A little bit wide there, and
That might end up helping the Canadians. Lying 3.
woo!
Like, are you thinking the top, like line? No, I'm not thinking. Straight draw? Yeah.
Okay.
I had Ina here with 12. So I think coming around.
Similar weight to what I just threw right here, you think?
Yeah, like 13.
Okay.
Like 1275, 13.
Well, final stone for John Thurston. And Instead of lying 2 like the last time, this time Canadians lying 3 and have a shot for 4.
So a good
Gotta
decision
get
to
around.
redo that.
Rubs on the
Whoa.
guard. Does it have enough to stay? Yes. 4 reds.
See a little more ice.
And in a first end that lasted
Just a little more ice.
what
Would you
seems
like
like
to
an
throw?
eternity,
I thought I was out to it.
Canadians capitalize in a big way and lead 4-0.
Well, it's curling out that far.
Something that went wrong at the beginning turned out in their favor.
Big
Got-
lead for Canada after the first. Well, after some controversy in the first end, a replayed first end, Canada comes away with their biggest end so far in Beijing, scoring 4.
Really nice way to start the game, any game for that matter. Take some of the pressure off right away. We're going to see Mark putting this one right in the house.
Beauty shot, Mark.
There's a turkey shot.
So it was your 6 that ground up.
12-8-6.
Is that right?
Now we gotta make sure that's good.
Okay.
What do you expect to see from the
Oh, yes,
Latvians here, Sonia? Down by 4, something that they haven't experienced.
Time for some serious offense, and that's what they were attempting to do there with a corner guard, but did not quite get over the hog line. Mark's just going to put another one
Yeah.
in the rings. With his almost 8-foot long delivery stick, made of really, really lightweight carbon fiber, he tells me.
Girl. 13-2.
13.2 seconds.
Shot, Mark.
So T-line weight is 13.
He's found his draw weight.
Paulina decides to change her approach and start hitting those red rocks.
Briadis
Давай, 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 давай. Держи, держи, держи.
gets 1. Latvian coach Arnis Vedamanis. Latvian national champion in able-bodied curling from last year. Also a two-time Latvian mixed doubles champion, 2014 and 2020.
Just
Nice throwdowns.
reaching out for it a little.
Well, beauty.
Good throw.
And the takeout specialist, Dennis Thiessen.
That he is, definitely. Nice throw from Dennis.
Nick Lismore at his first Paralympics, the 34-year-old.
Throw that we like. Yeah.
Took over the head coaching role, the Canadian program in 2020. He has to be pleased with the way things have gone so far.
He definitely has to be pleased with his team. All that practice time they had beforehand has definitely paid off. And you can really notice that. The team is very cohesive.
Top ring. Top 8 bullseye.
13 and a half?
Yeah.
13 and a half?
Yeah. It's my draw to the button.
Dennis throwing the first draw of the game for him.
It's all right. Behind's not bad either. Get around. Get around. Shoot. Okay.
Well, Canada putting some pressure on, but leaving the Latvians with a pocket there.
Everyone on the Latvia team has got a nice
Think we
way
gotta
of
go right on the nose. We lose the back one, maybe even this one, but right on the nose is fine.
delivering the stone.
You ever like just down to it?
Yeah. We could, we're one.
Like we're one.
yeah.
Make them make the play.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like here?
Yeah.
Top
Yeah,
8.
I like it.
Top 8. Top 12.
All right, Dennis, 13-2 to T-line.
So 13 and a half?
Like 13 and a half.
13, yeah, 13 and a half.
Well, another change in strategy.
Yeah. I really like how John communicates his thoughts. And Mark is so open to hearing from everybody else on the team, and that's what makes him such a great skip.
Do you have a preference yourself here on
I actually
what you do?
I like the shot they've chosen, yes.
A little tight, Ein.
Yeah, great weight.
Yeah.
Сила десятка.
Я брал
Или как тебе
Yeah, I think
удобно.
just like that.
Можно сюда попасть, можно в лоб.
So it didn't kind of stay in Mark and Dennis's path.
Kā tu pēc tam šito dabūsi?
Kā? Tā arī dabūsi.
Не, давай labāk šito.
Чтоб мы не били туда.
Ну, mas isso aqui. Agora não é de nada. Você tem salsara.
Почему желтый останется? Этот может в бок уйти.
Agora não é de nada. Это стикер, jā.
Зачем сильно? Просто десnet.
Varam ar spēku 12, lai vienkārši šitais pabīdes.
Ar tādu spēku.
Well, now it's the Latvians' turn to discuss this shot.
Но десятка не упадет так. Ничего страшного.
Little more ice, same thing.
So I'd throw it the same line if he's giving you more ice.
I've removed the guard at the top.
It'll finish on. You can be nice and positive here.
We still haven't been able to address that situation, Sonia, in the house.
No, but Ina's going to get down there now where she needed to be with her first shot. Don't give Ina the same shot twice because she'll
Good to good.
nail
Good
it
man.
the second time.
Curling early.
Yeah,
I thought he said throw it the same because I'm getting more ice. Did he not say that?
he did say that.
I said that.
You said that.
But then he said throw it positive.
Oh,
Not sure what happened there.
Sorry,
I thought he
should have
said-
reiterated that. He said he's going to give you more ice, so then I said just throw it.
Oh, that's where communication comes into play. And now it looks like Latvia will deal with this situation. Roshkova
Jā, pielaidi piere.
worried about that stone in the back as well.
Kau? Ilgi nāk. Vai ilgi nāk?
Dyatsenko
А,
throws third stones, but he
я не
is
знаю,
not
блядь,
the
почему
vice
у меня
skip.
такой свал большой?
The lead OER's Briadis is the vice skip with
Okay,
Roshkova calling the game.
8.5. Good 8.5.
okay. What's it going to do here?
Feel.
What's it going to do here?
I think it's going to curl a bit.
Okay.
Half rock, 3/4 of rock high. Curling.
It is curling there. Wow.
Out the other
Just
way.
gets
Like that.
Just gets
some of
it.
it.
Yeah, just good to good, and it went right away.
Got to the other side, not the side Mark wanted to get to, but it worked out anyways. Really took off down there.
Bišķiņ šaura kojas. Jā.
There's a good shot of their head. Paulina Paulina trying to get down in front of those back two, but not going to get there.
That. Where to? Okay.
Yeah. Same as your pal?
Yeah.
What do you think for weight, John?
13 and a half.
Yeah. 13 and a half.
13 and a quarter.
Hey.
You can see you shaking your head here, Sonia.
Well, that side has really thrown them for a loop, so I know they're saying 13 and a half, but I think I'd be throwing a 13 down here. Caught Ina twice. Whatever that weight was there, worked out for them. A little deep, but
12-7.
so that was 12-7. 13 would have been in front of the tee line.
Viere, ja?
They're right on point.
Staat met die.
Jā, varam tā.
Well, Latvia does not have a whole lot to play with here, facing 3 reds on their final stone.
Kita.
Jā.
Oh, Canada's making it hard for Latvia.
So final stone for Paulina Roshkova. Trying to score 1, and she does exactly that.
She does. Great shot under pressure.
So 1 for Latvia, but a strong start from Canada. And it's 4-1 after 2.
Yes. Yep.
4-1 for Canada through 2 ends in draw number 4. 78% on the day for the Canadians, and Latvia down at 42%. But it could have been much worse if the skip Roshkova didn't come through with a pressure shot facing 3, Sonia.
It could have been much worse for Latvia, but luckily she has the ability to perform under pressure, I think.
Oyars Briadis, the lead for the Latvians, but also serving as the vice skip. And the co-flag bearer along with Paulina Roshkova, who said she's had a difficult time. She spent some time with her rehabilitation in Ukraine. And given the situation, what's happening there right now, she says it's been very difficult to focus on wheelchair curling, and I think everybody feels that in the Paralympic Village, Sonia.
Absolutely. We heard the beautiful speech from the president of the IPC at the opening ceremonies. And I support the decision that the IPC and CPC made. But honestly, my heart goes out to the Russian wheelchair curling athletes as well. All they want to do is come and curl. So it's a bit of a bittersweet decision. Sport has the power to unite, it certainly does. There was obviously enough reasons and tension within the village between the athletes that they were all happy with the decision that was made. And we don't know what that tension really was.
Yes, nothing specific. The International Paralympic Committee saying animosity.
Yeah.
13, eh?
Part of the reason why it reversed its decision, but no specific scenarios.
Yes.
And reminder, you can follow all things wheelchair curling with That Curling Show. Devin Haru at the Ice Cube, along with Colleen Jones, one of the most decorated curlers in Canadian history. The next show, Sunday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Time on the CBC Sports YouTube channel. Canadians with a strong start in Beijing, a 2-0 start. And then after some controversy where they had a shot for 3, but before the measurement was brought out, the stone was accidentally removed. They replayed the end and Canada scored 4.
Yeah, I'm sure they're happy about that decision to replay the end.
They were given the option to take 1 or replay. And on hindsight, that was a wise decision for the Canadians. Never a dull moment, though, is there?
No, there's not a dull moment.
Just when you least expect it.
Things can take on a different direction really quickly.
Get the sense that this Latvian team is pretty comfortable with rocks in play.
Absolutely, that's what I'm noticing. That was a very nice draw. Down to the back one there, ending up shot rock.
As we mentioned off the
We're gonna play it across the face, Dennis.
top, this
Okay?
is
We're gonna play it across the face. Same turn.
This is Latvia's first appearance in wheelchair curling in Paralympic history.
And so far doing a really great job of it.
8-4 winners over South Korea in their first game. They do have a hill to climb here in terms of trying to get back into this. Canadians with the hammer in the third.
It's pretty in out.
Rubbing on that yellow and causing all sorts of problems. So the Latvians catch a break.
Just getting outside of the broom there. Mark calling it in, out. In and then outside the broom. Agris getting to throw the similar shot that he just threw.
Line 2.
Off the line. We can get to nose of this one. If you get that, then so be it. A little more. What weight? 9? Good 9.
So Mark's asked Dennis to pull that stone off the center line, closer to the 18-inch line. Just get a better look and direct line at the broom. It's quite a ways off the center line there, you can see.
Okay.
Очень надо сарга.
Getting rid of that top guard was secondary. First was
Средний или дальний?
stone there at the top of the forefoot, but if you get the guard,
Белая да
it's
ближний.
option number 2.
Четверть 30. Добре.
Well, again, Latvia making things interesting.
That works, doesn't it?
Just hit this one high, eh?
Guarding their 2 shot
Kick this one
stones.
sideways. This one might come on, but
Yeah.
8,
Seen this pass.
like 8.5, nice and smooth.
Mark's calling for an 8.5 second hit weight, so that's the timing between hog lines. As the number gets smaller, the rock moves faster. 8 to 10 are hit weights.
Throw.
They're going to get more, but
And now is a third Latvian stone that makes its way into the house.
Struggling a little bit with those hits down that side, not coming back, so some conversation between John and Ina. She says it felt like it just fell. The rock just fell off to the boards, didn't want to come back.
Second stone from Diatsenko.
Линия хорошая.
Who seems to have his draw weight down. Putting up another guard here.
No. No.
And that
We need to
works
clear a
for
path here. We need
Latvia.
to leave John a shot, right? So, be good to get this high.
Can we come down center?
Well, I don't want to jam it here.
Okay.
What are you seeing? What are you guys seeing?
yeah, I mean, I like your call. I think we got to open up
Can't jam, so.
Yeah.
something. We can't get it shot rocks on it.
Can you get the nose of this?
Half rock. I don't know if you catch the back one.
You don't know we could get to the back one?
Like if you hit that top 12 one, I don't think you'll catch the.
Okay, we need to
No,
open
then
it
I'll
up.
be sitting there, so.
Just open it up.
Try that. You might
Yeah.
you might end up hitting that top 12 one.
8.5.
Lots of conversation there, and Mark stuck to his decision. He wants to open up that side of the sheet. They've got the hammers so that John has a way in with his shots.
And what are some of the concerns for the Canadians in the house here right now with the yellows starting to pile up?
The concern is not having a path in for John's last stone. And that worked out quite well.
Getting the double takeout.
And a nice path.
Sounds like a few Canadian supporters in the crowd as well.
Yeah, I wonder if that was some of the support staff that joins the team on their journey here. Sari Shatil from
Now, my Latvian is not very good, unfortunately. I don't know how yours is, but it seems like there's a bit of a disagreement here.
Paulina. Evo. Evo.
Tu gribi tur sargu?
Nē, nu brauc iekšā pielaid sargs, nu.
Kas?
Brauc iekšā pielaid sargs.
Oi, bet no šīs puses var paslēpties.
So it took their time analyzing the situation. Very much in protection mode.
Yeah, guarding their shot stone there. I think perhaps Oyars wanted to block the other path.
Yeah.
13?
No, that was the other.
Oh, 13 a quarter.
13 a quarter.
How's Dave?
How's Dave?
So 2 shots for John Thurston, throwing last rocks for Canada.
That is going to work out really, really nice.
Biting on the 4-foot ring.
That just stopped like a
I thought it was just 1284. Like I thought it was in there and it was.
No šejienes izskatās, ka dzeltenais.
Jā, dzeltenais, jā.
Liekam sargu?
Jā.
Liekam sargu?
Jā.
So final stone for Roshkova. Latvians have made things difficult, but a great shot from Thiessen has put the Canadians. Well, it's close between Shot Rock.
Thinking Paulina thinks there's a
Looks
shot.
red from the camera.
She's put up
Yep.
a guard there,
Yeah.
but it's close.
Not much you can do about it anyway.
No.
Try to.
No.
I think it's really close, but
Yeah.
from here it looks yellow.
Up top it looks red.
Must be
Into
close.
that. Or just draw back, draw
Okay.
side 4.
Okay.
Yeah, and we've seen so many rocks go down this side, you know, Mark calling for,
Go to rock more.
What's that? 12.6? 12.75?
Yeah.
Well, that one's going to be 4.
Yeah.
12.75.
Yeah. 12.7.
so many rocks
Is
going
that
down.
4?
Yeah, it's about a rock more.
Okay.
And there has been some back and forth about the weight call. Are they playing too heavy, perhaps?
Definitely need to give it a little bit more down this side than what they're thinking. And I think Mark and John know that now, and
Take a wick.
John hopefully has about a 12.5 here.
Stop.
Is it enough?
Ah.
Not enough to beat that yellow. Now,
Down to a measure.
it looks like we could be in for another measurement. Don't touch those stones.
A little bit longer and then just wicked it right
What
in.
was that?
I got 38.
Yeah.
What was the weight?
12.5.
1238.
12.38.
Kā jums tur izskatās?
Mark's going to guard those rocks with his life now.
Yes.
Don't touch the stones.
Yeah, yeah.
All just hang out.
Move the top stones. Can I direct them? Yeah.
I can get them to move some, right? You can move this one.
Wait till Glenda comes.
Yeah, this one. Yeah. That one. That one. And that one.
Very careful this time around.
Make sure this time.
Team Canada is all on guard there to make sure
Yeah.
that no rocks are moved that should not be moved.
There we go. I think we're in business this time.
From this angle, it looks
You're
red.
thinking red?
3.
I'm thinking we got the measurement in
Oh,
place.
yeah, for sure.
No controversy this time.
No.
And it is the yellow, so Mark Idison did have the right call. So it is Latvia picking up a steal of 1 in the third end.
Bit of a messy end.
Really?
Not the kind of end Team Canada
The fourth end. Oh, right. Right.
wants to be in or likes to be in.
So that hot start from the Canadians, but Latvia 2 scores of 1 to make it 4-2 after 3.
You commented earlier on about the fans in the stands. a few Canadian fans, and I didn't get a chance to finish what I was saying, that we have Sari Shatil as Team Canada's physiotherapist from London, Ontario. She's probably in the fans cheering away, with Kyle Paquette, the mental performance consultant, and Dr. Steve Dilkus from Toronto, who is the team physician, part of the support staff and the amazing contingent that travels with Team Canada.
It's not just the wheelchair curlers, is it? It's the staff, everyone that looks after the team.
It absolutely is. And
Big operation.
so much of that goes to Wendy Morgan, the team leader, and she's been the team leader ever since, gosh, 2006. And don't know what the program would do without her. Mark's going to take out that stone. The comfort zone for Team Canada is in a situation like this, up a couple of points and able to start playing defensively, but mindful of offensive shots when the time is right.
The Latvians got off to a tough start, giving up the score of 4. But this is a team that stole a couple of ends against South Korea as well in its opening victory. So this is a team that can make things difficult.
Not afraid of playing offensively. And you can see why. Their second and third has got some really great draw weight control, as does Mark. Mark's been in a chair for 15 years now due to a helicopter crash. He
Nice weight, Mark.
was a helicopter pilot and sustained a C7 incomplete spinal cord injury, which has not slowed him down.
Long-time skip for the Canadian team, including at the past 3 World Championships. And he's also had to deal with the rise of many other competitive wheelchair curling nations, China being one of them, South Korea, Norway, Sweden, both undefeated in Beijing so far.
Yeah.
I like the in.
You like the intern?
When Mark came into the program, it was pretty obvious he was going to be a key player on the team at some point.
John's curled here.
Uh, Mark was a golfer before his accident, which translates really well into becoming a curler.
Enough to push it mostly out of the way.
Yep, an effective peel from Dennis.
Thiessen originally said he didn't want to try wheelchair curling when a friend asked him to, as he had never played before. But luckily he did decide to give it a try. He was worried he wouldn't have enough strength to push the rock down the ice. But clearly that is not an issue. And he says he's been hooked ever since, and now one of the world's top athletes in wheelchair curling.
He's a very dedicated athlete and has put a lot of work into strengthening the muscles that he does have in his arms still, and it's worked out for him.
Not just missing the yellow guard, so.
Yeah. Saw some conversation there between Ina and Dennis. Ina just confirming for Dennis what she saw. Such a important piece to being open to feedback from your teammates and taking it for what it's worth. Anything your teammates are telling you is only to make your next shot better, and you know exactly what you've didn't quite do right.
Approaching the fourth end break. Wheelchair curling games, 8 ends long. Canada as a team curling 67%, Latvia 59.
8.5,
Ina throwing a big weight shot. You can see when she throws her hits, she has her stick up high underneath her armpit. And then when she throws her draws, her hand is down lower on closer to her hip, the wheel of her chair. A style that she's developed over the last couple of years in order to gain more weight on her hit shots, and it's worked really well for her.
Eleven teams are in this wheelchair curling round robin. 10 games for each country in a span of 6 days. Top 4 make the semifinals.
It's a lot of curling.
It is. And then at the end of all that, if you were in the top 4, you have to find a way to
keep going.
Bring the best out when it matters most.
Absolutely.
Canada's made the elimination games every year.
Yeah. Top 8. 13 and a half. You can be positive here, right?
13 and a quarter.
Top 8, recognizing that it is 13 and a half to top 8 now after struggling down that side. .13 and a half seconds is the draw weight Mark's calling. That's the time between the hog lines. That's a good shot. Let's hear what the time is on that one.
Ребят, сколько этот был по силе?
Good shot because it's right in behind cover, behind those two high yellow guards. Latvia's going to try and follow that one down.
Into skip stones and a chance for Latvians to try and keep this close.
Paulina's the only one on the team using that balance post, and it serves her really well. It keeps her able to be very upright and strong in her upper body power and positioning.
13.5.
That one didn't go as far as she would want it to go.
Half under.
That could be a costly miss, allowing the Canadians to put a third stone in the rings.
I think you're right, Matt, because they've got this side figured out now. They do. Beautiful shot by John under pressure, which we have seen he does very, very well. He's very mentally tough, and coaches say he's such a steady and stable player, and he certainly has shown that to all of us in the first two games, and now again in the third game.
Nē, sit ārā.
Un tad mēs 3 dabūsim.
Kāds 3? Tu ko gribēji izspiet? Sit
Jā.
ārā pa šejieni, ja trāpīs, tad
Jā.
pagadi.
So another tough spot here for
Tu viņu
Bišķi
gribi
plātāk,
izspiest?
liec plātāk.
Vai 2 sitam?
That's a firm no. Another tough spot for the Latvians here.
Platā?
Tā, jā, tā būs labi.
Big last rock for Paulina Roshkova.
Gotta move something there, and
well, does make things more interesting. Canada just lined the 1 red now, biting on the 4-foot ring.
I think if we try to hit this, it just skids onto that.
I think John's got that draw weight down in his pocket. Just
Yeah.
throw the same shot again, or
So the final rock in the 4th. And a chance to score multiple points. Thurston
slow down a little bit.
does stay around.
Great shot.
And enough to count 2 more for the Canadians. And at the 4th end break, it's a 6-2 score. Another good start from this Canadian crew. We're halfway through draw number 4. This coverage of the 2022 Paralympic Winter Games continues.
we're seeing. 4 or 6 feet.
Paulina Roshkov. Un atcerieties to pēdējo, tad, kad mēs uzliekam lejā. Tad, kad ir beigas, ka mums kaut kas ir ielietas iekšā, ir kaut kādas situācijas, kur viņam tas centrs ir brīvs, nu, tur uz propus, un tad priekšpēdējo aizņemam viņu ciet. Labi. Nu, nevis mēģinam ielikt kaut ko šeit. Kāda jēga? Tu ieliec šeit, redz, cik viņš labi liek, top 4. Viņš ieliek. Šādi ieliekot, taisties abas ciet.
But yeah,
Because you had, what was his 12 and a half?
12.6, yeah.
Yeah. And it was back 4.
Back 4. Yeah. Yep. But I guess more than anything, we got to make sure we finish the game with some time. Yeah. Just being ready, right?
Tad nav jēga. Vēl ir veseli 4 rendi, ko spēlēt. Mierīgi. Jā. Un svarīgais paņem šīri.
Pareizi, tev viss labi sanāca. Taču arī tā nebija īsti.
First thing, what do you want to get down this way, Johnny? You're going this path.
Yeah, it's a little heavier. Just like hog line in. So like 1275.
Okay.
1275, 13.
Yeah.
Okay.
So a 6-2 lead for Canada after the 4th end break. A score of 4 in the first end that was filled with controversy. A first end that was ultimately replayed. Canada cashing in for 4, and then a deuce in the 4th with some nice play. Well-constructed play leading up, Sonia.
Absolutely, yeah. Great decision, and on replaying the first end, of course, could have gone either way, but in hindsight, the right decision.
We heard from Mick Lismore there as well, saying it's important to finish the game strong, be ready, be prepared for anything.
Yeah, I heard him say that.
Kur liekam?
Samu sargu.
Kurā pusē?
Can't take any team for granted.
Latvia scored a single in the second and then stole one in the third for the country's 2 points.
13-6. Yes, great shot, Skip. That's a beauty, man. Great shot. Great shot.
And through 4 ends, Canada curling at 70% as a team, Latvia 57. Top curler today, Mark Idison at 86%. He has made his 8 draws at 91%. So
there you go.
The draw weight is on point for the Canadian skip.
Yeah, that's good.
Mark's always had great draw weight control. Never been a problem for Mark.
I think 13 and a half here, right? 13 and a quarter.
And here he's going to give us another one of those draws. 13 and a half seconds between hog lines is the magic number. A little bit heavier this time.
I'll go in the back.
Looks like it does bite on the back 12, just out of the pitcher. Paulina Roshkova has been put in a few tough positions for her shots. She is coming off a master's degree in economics at the Riga Technical University in Latvia. And she's worked as a number of years after her accident as an accountant, but now with a master's in economics and her thesis, she is now focusing on higher education opportunities for people with disabilities in the country. So she wants to grow all the time and learn new things all the time. So making big things happen on and off the curling sheets.
Sounds like she's very involved in creating accessible environments and experiences for people of all abilities. I was reading that about her, and that resonates really well with me as well. It's what I do in my work right now, and it's a very meaningful and purposeful work that she's doing.
Tremendously important. Well, Canada with 3 stones south of the tee line. Igris Lasmans, 75% on his stones today, including 90% of his draws. But a miss there.
Perhaps a bit of a miscommunication of what the shot was called there.
I think so.
Yeah.
Smooth 8.
She was calling for a draw behind the corner guards, and I think he was throwing for something down towards the back there. Time to peel those guards so that Latvia does not have anything to hide behind. As they struggle to create some offense.
Ors, vēlējam aiz sarga vai jau sitam un rulējam?
Sitam.
Davai, sitam. Šeit, lai neliels pārkritiens. Tādu pašu speku metīsi?
Nu, 9,5. Šis bija cik 9,8 kaut kāds.
Ielaida piera.
Paulina discussing with her vice skip, Oyars, who throws lead stones, confirming their strategic approach here. And they've decided on going after those back stones.
Like this? Yeah. Or do you like to see them? No, I like that. Top button, eh? You're thinking for 13 1/4.
13 1/4, okay.
Well, what was mine? Yeah, yours 13, you're back 4.
Yeah.
So 13 1/4 probably gives you top button.
Team Canada's just going to keep throwing them to the button, putting the pressure on.
Ina Forrest has reached the podium in all 3 of her Paralympic Games appearances. Also competed at 12 straight wheelchair curling world championships. and someone that you know very well.
Yeah, I was reading that the other night,
Мягенько,
thinking,
да, надо, чтобы перепал.
wow,
С этой стороны.
have we gone to that many
Я
world
бросать не буду.
championships?
Что?
На слабых тейках он себя ведет
Но
Галина.
нам надо, чтобы наш остался.
Его останется, так останется.
Хорошо.
Yeah, Ina and I only live 20 minutes away from each other, and I live in Vernon, BC, and Ina lives just outside of Vernon, and we have had the opportunity to train and curl together in our Vernon Curling Club for the better part of 10 plus years. See Dennison behind as an anchor and making sure that Ina's chair does not move. It's a really important role to play as an anchor. Whoa, that worked out.
Splitting the two at the back. No jam.
No jam. As if that was planned, it looked like.
She'll take it.
Треснуло три специи.
Куда-то едет.
Trying to get in behind that corner guard still. It's got a little bit too deep for him. Canada's making it hard for Latvia.
Well, lots to be decided here, but lots of red threatening in that 12-foot ring. The lone Yellowstone.
Yes, looking very, very red.
So how does Latvia make the best of this situation here with the two stones from Paulina? Or no good options right now?
I think I'd be choosing to draw right now. Personally, she's taking out that top stone.
Yeah, that was a good spot. Just full 12. Fighting 8.
Again, pressure's on. Canada lying at least 3, maybe 4.
A little more.
That's Thurston's last rock.
She's got a draw for her last stone, so perhaps a draw with her first would have been a better choice,
Sorry, Marco.
knowing that she was going to draw with her last as well.
Pressure shot coming up.
Piebraukt nevar, tas tuvāk. Ja tu gribi ar to negribi sīst.
Nē, taču. Ej, mājā.
So last rock for Latvia in the 5th. Tough situation. Facing a bundle of Canadian rocks. And Roshkova is going to come up well short. A steal for Canada. 4 for sure. Perhaps a 5th.
Perhaps another measure. Guard those rocks, Mark.
Spiežam rokas.
Kas?
Spiežam rokas.
Sešēndi ir?
Kas?
Ir sešēndi.
Ā, nē vēl.
Well, certainly some disappointment there for the Latvians.
Seši jānospēlē, ja?
What is it?
4.
So that's the question there, those 2 rocks on the left and right of your screen.
Yeah, I wonder if Mark is questioning them or not. I don't know that he is. He seems pretty confident that it's 4.
That's 4.
Yeah.
So a tough end for the Latvians, a steal of 4 for the Canadians, who have blown it open 10-2 after 5.
That's a tough end.
So into the 6th end, and after that steal of 4, it will be defense and defense only for the Canadians. The fewer stones in play, the better.
Yeah, in the last 2 games, we've seen Canada put the first one in and throw the second one through, but I can see here with a considerable lead, the strategy is to go ahead and throw that first one through. No need to put it in the rings first.
We were just discussing in that small break there that Latvia was setting itself up for something decent, but things turned sour there. What in your mind happened to allow that steal of 4 to take place?
I think with Paulina's first shot, a better selection would have been to draw around that top guard rather than take it out, knowing that she was going to be drawing with her last one as well, and sticking to an offensive approach as opposed to moving to something a little more defensive with that call on the top guard. And I'm sure if she had that opportunity back again, that's maybe what she would do.
Sometimes if you don't pull the emergency brake early enough, it's too late.
Yeah.
So the steal of 4 has really changed this game.
So we'll see Canada pretty much hit anything that's yellow now that they can.
Ļoti labi.
8. Yep.
Mark's calling for an 8-second hit weight. It's a good solid rock traveling at 8 seconds from hog line to hog line. Dennis can throw these all day long. He's super strong and loves to throw hits.
The big weight shots.
Great shot.
And that's what makes him
Shot, Dennis.
such a great second on the team. He's the guy that can clear the front when need be. Dennis had a farm accident when he was 17 years old and lost a leg above the knee. Has 2 kids, Katrina, who is a psych nurse, and Michael, his son, who owns and supports several farming businesses and has 2 girls, Julie and Livy. So Dennis is a grandpa.
All right.
Lucky Dennis.
Absolutely.
You get the top one, then that's all right.
Either or, I think, situation.
Same weight.
Same throw.
Little ones cheering on Grandpa.
Yeah,
I know how much they like their curling in Manitoba.
they do.
God, Dennis.
Another great shot out there wide around that top guard.
Līnija bija laba.
If you joined us late, this game started in controversy at the very end of the first. Canada appeared to score 2, but with a stone biting on the 12-foot ring, the team had called for a measurement. One of the off-ice officials mistakenly removed the stone. Canada was given the option to score 1 or replay the entire end, essentially start the game from scratch. They had a shot for 3. They said, okay, let's play it again. They scored 4
You can
in the
move it
first
over,
end.
yeah.
That really set the tone.
Oh, you can.
It absolutely did set the tone. And the
Well,
way
eight.
that they made that
Eight now.
team decision was really nice to
This is where you
see
peeled on and it curled up nice.
Get a curl here.
that they were all on the same page with the decision, regardless of what may or may not have happened. And it worked out in their favor.
Good toss. Yeah.
So this game is significantly behind the other games happening in draw 4.
Really good.
But now with the Canadians in hitting mode here, they'll likely be speeding it up.
Beautiful shot by Ina. He's hiding underneath that guard there. Time to get rid of
Which
that
way do you want? I
corner
like the
guard.
outturn, actually. It ran pretty predictable with Dennis. 8.5.
No need to leave anything out front for Latvia to hide behind. So that's why it's time to remove this guard. Team Canada just seems to be on fire right now.
Shot, eh?
Серёж, Сарга.
Думаешь, какая разница?
Что?
Оставим сюда и все.
И давай сюда, Серёж.
2 games for the Canadians on day 3. Following this one, they have the early draw in Beijing against the United States, a team that's 0-2 after its first 2, and then the nightcap against the Swedes, who are faring quite well.
Yep, Sweden has always had a strong team. Always been one of our top competitors for sure, or Team Canada's top competitors, I should say.
Sweden won the bronze in 2006 and then again in 2010.
8.5.
Yeah. What do you think it's going to do here?
I don't think it's going to do a whole lot, really.
Okay.
It's a good 8.5.
So an interesting situation developing in the house.
Okay.
Yeah, that positive throw, especially the air turn.
But again, with so few rocks in play and Latvia down so many points, no real reason for concern here.
No, we've got a bit of a lead here, to say the least.
But as we know, curling and wheelchair curling, all about momentum. The schedule will get very busy over the next few days.
It will.
Open side, yeah.
Yeah.
Today is really the last chance to rest
They can
before
wait
the end of
here.
the round robin.
I like 13.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll have a bit of a break right now. And then
Just one game today and then back to business
Go
with
inside or draw to the button path.
full on 2-game days after that.
That's it. 2 game days all the way to the last game of the round robin, which is against Norway. And after that, we'll see who the top 4 teams are, if there is more games to play or not for this Canadian team. But off to a great start. Final stone from Thiessen is a good one, biting the back of the button.
There's our Team
There is
Canada fans.
the support staff.
Steve Dilkus, our Team Canada's doctor, and Sari Shatril, the physiotherapist.
Vai stiprāk.
Kas?
Deviņi vai stiprāk.
Jā.
Liec akmeni te. Vēl. Jā. Pareizi ir.
Kas?
Labi ir. Akmeni noliec te.
Nē, viss kārtība.
Last stone for the Latvians in the 6th end. And a nice shot to take out 2 reds and enough to score 1.
That worked for her.
And I think that will be it.
She has decided to shake
End on a high
hands.
note.
Yeah. And a very sportsmanlike decision.
Hi, everyone at home.
So it goes into the book as a 10-3 final for the Canadians. And they improve to 3-0 in the wheelchair curling competition in Beijing. Dominant performance.
The choice to shake hands early is nice to see that you lose with grace and win with humility.
Don't have to worry about her time again this time.
Team Canada happy with the result.
See you later.
And Latvia playing Slovakia later on today, maybe realizing it's best to rest and regroup, focus on the next game.
I think that's a really good decision. They've got 2 wins already. 1 win.
1-1 now.
1-1.
They'll have a busy schedule as well. But another dominant performance and a couple of scores of 4. In the first end, it was the controversy, which resulted in 4 for Canada, and then a steal of 4. It really put this game out of reach. That was in the 5th.
Miss you.
Miss you too, Dennis.
Miss you guys. See you.
Some smiles, some waves, and a big win for Canada. 10-3 the final over Latvia. And the Canadians 3-0 so far in Beijing.
Divas pēdas, jā.
Not that one. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Well, it's too late. You can't put them back.
Not that one. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Well, it's too late.
Not that one. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Well, it's too late.
You got it, buddy.
Really like the throw line.
Nice toss line.
Yeah.
Nice shot.
Good shot.
Nice shot.
Got to get around.
It's enough.
Yeah. Need a little more ice.
Pielaidi piebraukt pie viņa, bet labākais mūsu sargiem.
Throw line.
Nice shot, Ryan.
No, that's good.
Throw line.
Nice shot, Ryan.
No, that's good.
Hot.
Stop.
Ah.
Measure.
Yeah.
Just.
Четверть, 3, четверть.
Varums, ka